Hello dear students, welcome back to EDUHUNT video lecture series. We have been discussing about the endocrine system, that is chemical coordination. What is hormone? Who discovered it? And what is the nature of hormone that has been described in detail. In this session, we are going to describe the nature of hormone and types of hormones. Based on the chemical nature, hormones are categorized into amino acid derivatives, where the amino acids, they are the main composition of the hormone. Steroids are a kind of hormones where lipids are the major components of the hormones. And next is peptides or proteins. Proteins are the major composition of the hormone. Let us see the first category, that is amino acid derivatives. In nature, so far, 20 amino acids, known amino acids and familiar amino acids are 20. I'll mention some of the amino acids: glycine, valine, alanine, valine, glutamic acid, aspartame, aspergine, histidine, phenylalanine, and lysine, leucine, isoleucine, and tyrosine, tryptophan, threonine, methionine, serine. These are some of the amino acids. And let us see one of the amino acids, that is tyrosine. Tyrosine, it derives thyroxine. The main composition of the hormone thyroxine is tyrosine. The amino acid tyrosine gives rise to thyroxine. Even the adrenaline is a hormone secreted by adrenal glands. Adrenal glands are present just above the kidneys. Just above the kidneys, the two adrenal glands are present, and these adrenal glands, they secrete hormones. The adrenaline is one of the hormones secreted by adrenal gland, and this is the derivative of tyrosine amino acid. And second amino acid is tryptophan. Tryptophan, which derives melatonin. Melatonin is derived from tryptophan. And second category of hormones is steroid hormones, or the hormones which have lipids as one of the components. They are cholesterol derivatives. Lipids are several types like fatty acids, fats, cholesterols. These are the different lipids. And cholesterol derivatives, especially the sex hormones, are of this kind. Estrogen, progesterone, they are released by the ovary and placenta. Ovary and placenta release estrogen and progesterone. These are cholesterol derivatives. And testosterone, which is released by which is a male hormone, male sex hormone, released by the testes. and hormones of adrenal cortex. Corticoids, they are called corticoids. Adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex also secretes the hormones called corticoids. These hormones also composed of lipids. And next category of hormones is peptide hormones or the proteinaceous hormones, where the hormones consist of proteins. And the maximum of the hormones are of this kind, and some of the hormones, some of the proteins are associated with the sugars called glycoproteins. Follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, and TSH, HCG, these are all the glycoproteins, hormones of glycoproteins, while other are pure proteins. For example, hormones of pancreas, for example, insulin. Insulin is purely proteinaceous hormone, and hormones of parathyroid, pituitary and thymus. These are all the hormones, these are all the structures which release hormones of proteinaceous in nature. And let us come to the next part of the session, unit, that is endocrine glands. We have different endocrine glands that are present localized in various parts of our body. First endocrine gland is the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland, this gland is called the master of endocrine orchestra because it is the main gland that influence the other endocrine glands and their secretions, and that is why it is called master gland. It is very, very important. It not only secretes hormones but also the secretions influence the other endocrine glands, other secretions of other endocrine glands. That is why it is called master gland, as it regulates the functioning of other endocrine glands like thyroid gland, adrenal cortex, testes, ovaries, etc. Testes and ovaries are the sex organs of male and female respectively. The secretions of pancreas and thymus and pineal body, they are not regulated by the hormones of pituitary gland. Even the hormones produced by pancreas are not regulated by the secretions of pituitary gland. It is single, pituitary gland is single, and the approximate weight of the gland is 0.5 grams. This is the structure of pituitary gland. I think the picture is not clear. Anyway, this is the pituitary gland, which is a single one. It is present in the groove or the cavity of the basisphenoid called the sella turcica. Sella turcica is the cavity or the groove of the sphenoid bone where the pituitary gland is located. It is attached to the floor of the diencephalon. Diencephalon is a part of brain, forebrain. Floor of the diencephalon called the hypothalamus of the forebrain through a stalk called infundibulum. It is attached to the floor of the diencephalon, which is a part of forebrain, through a small connection stalk called the infundibulum. as it is present below the diencephalon of the forebrain. It is also called hypophysis cerebri. Hypophysis cerebri is the name given to the pituitary gland because it is situated just beneath the diencephalon. It is attached to the floor of the diencephalon with a stalk called infundibulum. In mammals, it is ectodermal in origin. It is ectodermal in origin and consists of two parts. One is the adenohypophysis and second part is neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis has two more parts, that is anterior part. Anterior part is anterior lobe, that is called pars distalis, and the next lobe is called the pars intermedia. Middle lobe called pars intermedia, anterior lobe called the pars distalis. And neurohypophysis, it is directly connected to the hypothalamus or the diencephalon part of the forebrain. It includes posterior lobe called the pars nervosa. Pars nervosa is the posterior part of the pituitary gland. Let us see the secretions, hormones. Coming to the hormones part, that is anterior lobe, which secretes 6 hormones. Out of 6 hormones, the growth hormone or the somatotropic hormone, STH. Somatotropic hormone or the growth hormone responsible for growth. Second is prolactin. Prolactin is especially important for lactating mothers, feeding mothers. Prolactin or mammotropin or luteinizing hormone, luteotropic hormone, which is the second one. And third, adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH, thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, and follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. These are the 6 hormones which are secreted by the anterior part of the anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. 6 hormones are secreted by anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. This anterior lobe is called pars. What we call it as? It is pars distalis. Yes, it is marked here. Pars distalis is the anterior lobe which is responsible for the secretion of 6 hormones. Out of 6, growth hormone, prolactin or the mammotropic hormone, and adrenocorticotropic hormone, and thyroid stimulating hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone. These are the 6 hormones, and these are secreted by acidophilic. Somatotropic hormone and prolactin are secreted by acidophilic 40% cells, and adrenocorticotropic hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone is secreted by somatotropic hormone, and prolactin are secreted from acidophilic cells, 40%. And adrenocorticotropic hormone is secreted from chromophobic cells, while rest of the 3, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, and luteinizing hormone, are secreted from basophilic cells, 10%. And last 3 hormones, TSH, FSH, and LH, these 3 are glycoproteins. These 3 hormones, TSH, FSH, and LH, are glycoproteins in nature. And the first 3, adrenocorticotropic hormone, prolactin, and growth hormone, are proteinaceous in nature, protein or peptide hormones. Except the prolactin All the other hormones, that is rest of the 5, are endocrine in nature, but prolactin is exocrine because it secretes milk. Prolactin is hormones of anterior pituitary are tropic hormones and are stimulate other endocrine glands. But prolactin is not a tropic hormone which is secreted, and this stimulates the mammary gland and not the other endocrine glands, but exocrine in nature. It does not influence or stimulate other endocrine glands as the other hormones do. First hormone, that is growth hormone or the somatotropic hormone. It is the anabolic hormone. It is anabolic hormone and stimulates protein synthesis. And the catabolism of proteins and amino acids is decreased and it stimulates lipolysis, breakdown of lipids, that is for production of energy. They break down the lipids, the bodily lipids, and for the sake of production of energy. It decreases the use of glucose for energy production and conserves carbohydrates as glycogen. It preserves the carbohydrates in the form of glycogen and decreases the use of glucose for the production of energy because it carries out the lipolysis, that is the breakdown of the lipids. It releases energy by breaking down the lipids of the body, but it decreases the use of glucose. Manam body metabolism antam kada, so metabolism ante ade. So it reserves the calcium and phosphate and causes enlargement of the bones or the elongation of the bones. Hyposecretion, that is under secretion of somatotropic hormone in children, it causes dwarfism because of reduced size of the bones, the children, they show undergrowth, producing midgets with stunted growth. మనం అంటాం కదా dwarfs, like 3 dwarfs and some story is there, muffins or some story is there, that is dwarfs are like lilliputs. Kaliva travels lo మీరు వినే ఉంటారు, చూసే ఉంటారు, కార్టూన్స్ లో కూడా లిల్లీపుట్స్ ఉంటారు కదా. సో లిల్లీపుట్స్ మనం లిల్లీపుట్ అని అనము, బట్ దీస్ ఆర్ కాల్డ్ డ్వార్ఫ్స్, మిడ్గెట్స్ అని అంటాము. ఇన్ అడల్ట్స్ Simmons disease, it causes Simmons disease, protein synthesis is decreased and lactation is also reduced in females. మనకు బాగా తెలుసు కదా, lactation is very very important for feeding mothers. It has decreased because of the hyposecretion, that is under secretion of this hormone. Hypersecretion, what happens if the secretion increases beyond levels? It causes gigantism. Gigantism అంటే ఒక పెద్ద బాడీ ఉంటుంది, బికాస్ overgrowth of the body, gigantism అంటారు. In adults it causes acromegaly. Acromegaly అంటే gorilla like appearance, free ends of extremities like fingers and toes, and even chin, appearance of some hair like structures on the chin. Even the affected person develops osteoarthritis, that is painful joints. Gynecomastia and hirsutism. Gynecomastia, gyno means female, gynecomastia is a development of some masculine features. And hirsutism, it shows presence of coarse and pigmented hair on chest and even back. Next hormone is prolactin. Prolactin stimulates mammary glands to release and synthesize milk. It is a non-tropic hormone as it does not influence the secretion of other endocrine glands. And third is the adrenocorticotropic hormone. It stimulates the secretion of corticoids from the adrenal cortex. And it also regulates melanin pigment in human skin because of the distribution. Yes. Because of the distribution spread of the melanin only, our pigment, our skin complexion looks like that. If the melanin distributes evenly all over the body, we look darker. మనం నల్లగా ఎందుకున్నామంటే because of that melanin pigment. This is also related to the genes and it is also related to the environment. So, అది geneticsలో అది చూద్దాము. But up to here, it is responsible for pigment synthesis, that is melanin in the human. It controls the release of melanin pigment in the human skin, which is stimulated by the adrenocorticotropic hormones. So, up to here, we have discussed the first gland, that is pituitary gland, which is master of other endocrine orchestra. Master organ, master endocrine gland. Let us see the remaining hormones of the pituitary gland in the next session. Goodbye.